In today's video, I'm looking at this large dent damage on the rear side panel of this Ford Galaxy. Now this damage was actually caused by somebody kicking the panel. The customer's come out, obviously not too pleased, seeing there's a big dent in the side panel and some light scratches around there as well. So he's called me to come out and remove his dent. Now as you can see, moving around the panel, it's quite a large dent. Thankfully it's relatively soft, but it's quite complex. It has taken across the body line and really put distortion across the whole panel. Right down here on the dog leg section, across that body line, and the upper wing has got quite a lot of distortion from right by the rear back door to the rear lamp. So thankfully it's fairly soft, but it certainly is a bit complex with the amount of kind of different things going on with this particular repair. With my line board set up, you can see the tension and that crown caused down by the dog leg section, just here where those lines pinch together. So I'm going to start off with this repair, just releasing some tension. So as I speed up this next section, watch those lines move. So when it's sped up, you can really see the movement on that panel. Watch that tension being released. So I'm now switching to my cold glue, and I'm just going to start off giving it a few light pulls and seeing how the panel responds. Now I'm choosing to do this repair today completely from the outside, partly due to not particularly great access from the inside, but also a bit of a challenge. Can I remove this dent fully with just glue pulling tactics, with cold glue, hot glue, a whole load of tapping down, and also plenty of blending? And this is the Robo Mini Lifter with a gangrene tab to pull out a low spot just on that dog section. Now this combination really gives a lot of power. Watch the lines just above the feet of the Robo Lifter and see that kind of shape being pulled out. Now you do have to be careful because there's so much power you can create with this combination. I got a bit carried away and pulled this dent far too high. I put a big high spot in it, much more than I intended to, but thankfully it's savable, so a lot more kind of tap down work added into my repair, but managed to save it. So look at those lines pinching together. The strength in that Robo Lifter, I definitely pulled it just a little bit more than I planned to. So quick tap down to get me back up to speed before focusing on the remainder of the dent. Now if you haven't done so already, you can download and watch our free 5-part video series. You can head over to learnpdronline.com, click the start training button, and then you can watch the 5-part video series only available there via the website. That's going to give you a real insight into kind of me, my journey through PDR, and it's all about the training that we offer at learnpdronline.com. And don't forget, if you enjoy the videos that I put out here, you can like the video and also subscribe to our channel. It really helps the channel grow, so I definitely appreciate your support. The full repair tutorial for this actual repair is also available there at Learn PDR Online. This is just kind of my run through, a bit of a time lapse to show you here on YouTube some of the damage that we repair and go through in our training, but also go through some of the different tooling and techniques to remove damage just like this. So back to the repair. So now I'm looking at the upper section of the rear wing panel just behind the rear door, and I've got quite a long crease that goes from the top body line right down to that second body line. So once again, I'm using those gangrene tabs with a Robo Lifter, but I'm being just a little bit more gentle with my pulls. But I'm basically going to pull along that crease, line one tab up after the other, gently work my way down the panel. Now in this process, I do create some high spots, but with this particular area, it's intentional. So as I run the camera across, we can see that crease starting to come out, and you can just see here, those lines pinched together. That has brought my panel up, creating a slight high spot. Now that is a preference for when I'm doing this type of repair. I'll bring it slightly high to allow me to tap it down nice and evenly. I just think it makes it a little bit easier to read the lines and really see the shape of the panel. So I'm now highlighting the top section of the rear wing. Whilst the majority of that big kind of soft dent has popped out, it's definitely left a whole load of distortion across the panel, right from this rear lamp where I'm working to the top edge of that rear door. Now throughout this repair I probably spent at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half just in tapping alone. So the tap down with my crow carp tap down, the root beer tap down, and also using my blending hammer with the bullet tip on the ends as a tap down, along with some blending techniques as well. Now again, sped up, you can really see the movement, just how often I'm moving my line board, just how often I'm moving my head and my body position, really making sure I can read the dent from every single angle. So it's starting to come out now, the main bulk and the main shape is back. There's still a little bit of distortion, particularly along that top line. So I'll probably spend quite a bit of time here just in terms of tapping down and blending. So what I'm trying to do now is make sure that I get this rear wing panel consistent with the rest of the vehicle. So I'm having a look down at that driver's side rear door and the front door, making sure that I keep the paint finish, the texture and the general kind of shape of the panel in line with the rest of the vehicle. So if you're interested in learning how to repair damage just like this, once again you can head over to learnpdronline.com. And if you haven't done so already, do go over and start watching our free 5-part video series. It's going to give you a real insight into PDR in general, in the industry, the tooling, and just how to get started yourself learning paintless dent removal.